Bueno, mi gente, una vez más estamos aquí en The Creative Studio, pero nada más y nada menos esta vez andamos con Taino Barber.
Yo, what up?
Yeah, we got this special guest today. Taino Barber viene a hablarnos un poquito de lo que fue el premiere, ya como escucharon un poquito de lo que era, escucharon un poco de lo que era Sammy Cuts, de lo que fue Your Big Clippers, que son compañeros de nosotros. El Tiki también estuvo aquí con nosotros. Pero nada más y nada menos, no te vamos a dejar para lo último. Háblanos un poquito más de ti, Taino, para que el público sepa un poco más de ti, de dónde tú vienes, cuántos años llevas recortando en la industria. Y bueno, está en ti.
Bueno, before we get started, we got to do the disclaimer. My opinions and thoughts are my opinions and thoughts only. They are not. They do not align with This Is Nino TV or Da Vinci Barber Studio. They are solely my thoughts. And like Cole Cuts Brand says, I can fight in real life. So if you get offended, y'all let me know.
Oye, yo te miro y tú me asustas, ¿viste? Me estás asustando con la cara. Y yo dije, este hombre viene, mira, on fire. Ya me tenía el corazón, mira.
No te pongas nervioso. We're just getting started.
Pues sí, no, está viendo un poquito más de ti. Yo ya sabemos que él dijo, yo voy a decir lo que yo vengo a decir. Y yo le dije, papi, pero con calma. Y me dice, no, yo vengo a decir y esto es mi opinión y no la de más nadie.
Yeah, that's true. And don't worry, I won't get you canceled, bro.
Pues cuéntame, ¿cómo te fue en el evento del Premiere Orlando? Ya que íbamos por ese rumbo. Después hablamos un poquito más de ti, de dónde viene. Pero dame tu opinión de lo que fue el Premiere Orlando.
Para mí, Premiere es a must. Siempre, todos los años, eso es uno de los shows que yo nunca me pierdo. Entre la educación, los shows, las compañías que venden y sacan productos nuevos, viendo gente que tú o yo admiro o quiero ser como ellos, estar en ese nivel. Pues ese show nos da el chance de estar al lado de ellos, conocerlos, hablar con ellos, aprender de ellos en muchas cosas. En muchas veces ellos mismos son los que hacen las clases, dependiendo de la compañía que estén o lo que sea. Y ya, el Premiere para mí es un must. Yo nunca me pierdo ese show.
Para ti, ¿qué es lo más importante? Porque yo sé que tú dices que es un must. ¿Qué es el must para... Como ¿qué es tan importante para ti del evento?
La educación.
La
educación continua. Porque nosotros no podemos estar exigiendo respeto, más paga, etcétera, y no hacemos el trabajo de ir a educarnos más. Especialmente cuando Premiere, si compras los tickets temprano, son 75 pesos. Aunque no lo compres temprano, la puerta estaba en este año a 130 pesos por tú coger un día completo de clase.
Sí, que para mucha gente dijeron, no, yo no me voy a gastar ese dinero, que yo prefiero irme para la barbería a trabajar, que esto.
So prefieren quedarse en la barbería trabajando, bien. Si eso es if that's your prerogative, pues bien, pues entonces no puedes exigir respeto, no puedes exigir que te paguen más, porque no estás haciendo las cosas que necesitas hacer para educarte y seguir subiendo el nivel de la barbería.
Me tiene el corazón.
No te pongas nervioso. Aquí, ok. So, yo no soy solamente un barbero, yo soy barbero estilista, right? BB. Mi licencia dice BB. Barber Beautician. Right? Nosotros hablamos, cuando yo te conocí a ti, hablamos de muchas cosas. Entre ellas fue donde yo creía que se hacía más dinero. ¿En el lado de barbería o en el lado de estilismo?
¿Y la respuesta fue?
Yo decía, en ese momento yo decía en el lado de estilismo. Todavía puedo decir en el lado de estilismo. ¿Por qué? Porque los estilistas, sea mujer, sea hombre, se educan, siguen subiendo de nivel, ponen el respeto para su lado de la industria.
Uh-huh.
¿Por qué tú crees que una mujer va a un salón, a un beauty, se sienta ahí 4 o 5 horas haciéndose el pelo? A lo último le dice, mira, son 300, son 400, son lo que sea. Y esa mujer no dice, no, que si eso es demasiado o eso es ridículo, que si esto, que si lo otro. ¿Por qué? porque las estilistas se van y se educan, siguen creciendo, siguen aprendiendo cosas nuevas. Un barbero, un barbero ahora mismo, mira, nosotros estábamos en la barbería, no voy a mencionar el nombre. Y no sé, I don't know what's the cursing limit here, right? Pero tú mismo puedes estar de testigo que hay clientes que te dicen, 100 pesos, eso mejor viene con una mamada.
Ay, espérate. Ay. Esto está candente.
Pero ¿por qué tú crees que los clientes de la barbería creen que tienen el derecho de hablarnos a nosotros así?
Porque los mismos barberos no se dan el respeto. Eso es un tema que siempre estamos hablando.
No es solamente de respeto. No se educan. No van a clase. Entonces prefieren irse a el último día de premiere, ponte domingo o lunes, que son días que abren el piso para que tú veas los shows, veas a la gente en tarima. Prefieren ir el domingo o el lunes y ni cogen esos 2 días que todavía están haciendo clases. A lo mejor no lo están haciendo más a menudo como los hacen el sábado, pero no cogen las clases el domingo ni el lunes tampoco. Están caminando el piso, viendo tarima, viendo show, viéndole el ojo a cualquier influencer, chequeando quién tiene las mejores tenis puestas, pero la educación no existe. No existe.
¿Cierto? Y lo veo todo el tiempo. Mucha gente va para el peliculeo, que es lo que viene sucediendo. Mucha gente va para lo que no es, que en vez de sacarle provecho en verdad al evento de por sí, que ofrece muchas clases. Creo que fue una de las cosas que estábamos hablando. Yo creo que en uno de los primeros, primero que entrevisté, que fue Sammy Cuts, que él estaba hablando que él fue a las clases y de 100 y pico de personas que veían la clase, lo que habían eran 2 o 3 barberos.
Mira, nosotros nos sentamos yo, Sammy, el Tiki, nos sentamos en una clase de barbería. La estaba dando Andis. Y en esa clase de barbería, que era para barberos, para tú aprender a hacer algo nuevo, para aprender a usar unas máquinas nuevas, había por cada un barbero, sea mujer barbera o sea hombre barbero, por cada un barbero habían 10 estilistas haciendo preguntas, aprendiendo algo nuevo. ¿Por qué es eso? ¿Por qué? Entonces yo me siento y me miro, porque ese es el tiempo que yo cojo y me analizo. I analyze myself, right? What am I doing or what am I not doing to better both myself and my business? Because at the end of the day, we're a business, right?
Yeah. Y muchos barberos fallan eso, de entender que su silla o su 5x5 o lo que ellos hagan, tienen que tratarlo como un negocio.
So I don't just go to barbering classes. I go to stylist classes. I go to hair loss classes. I go to business classes. I did, in total, for the whole weekend, I did 9 classes, 6 on Saturday and 3 on Sunday. I'm talking about.
Wow, so tú te fuiste temprano del trabajo.
Yo cuando viene tiempo de premiere, yo trabajo el viernes, me voy el viernes por la noche, no trabajo el sábado, pero estoy trabajando porque estoy cogiendo educación. Estoy en clase metido. So, para mí eso es trabajo.
Sí, porque a la larga te va a dejar más.
So, aunque no esté ganando algo monetariamente en ese momento, a la larga me deja más.
Una inversión. Y es algo muy importante porque el dinero o el trabajo cualquiera te lo puede quitar, ¿verdad? Sucede mucho. Pero lo que tú conoces, nadie te lo quita, al menos que Dios te quite la memoria o te da Alzheimer o lo que sea. Que Dios permita que no, ¿verdad? Que todos trabajamos fuerte y que no queremos que nos suceda nada así. Pero creo que sí es importante porque te va a ayudar a hacer más dinero en el futuro de por sí.
Yeah, and that's true. Mira, cuando yo empecé con ustedes, con Da Vinci's, nosotros íbamos a mucha competencia. For me, it felt like every month we were in a competition.
Todos los meses, muy cierto.
Every month. And it was tiring because I wasn't learning anything. I was spending money. And it was just a hangout. It was a party. So for me, like, I don't have nothing else. There's nothing else for me here. ¿Me entiendes? Yo no tengo un side hustle. Yo no vendo real estate en the side. Yo no vendo carros al lado. Yo no joseo al lado. Yo estoy en la barbería metido.
Sí.
Yo hasta dejé
Cuando comenzaste, tenías otro.
yo hasta dejé
otra
de luchar.
carrera.
Yo hasta dejé de luchar profesionalmente para estar en la barbería metido.
Wow.
So yo no tengo otro modes of income. If I don't make it here, I don't make it.
Tienes que volverla para atrás.
Yeah, my family doesn't eat. My house doesn't get paid. My bills don't get paid. So when I was going to all these events, all these barber battles, there's supposed education, right? Siempre dicen, oh, esta voy a estar dando una clase o lo que sea. Pero entonces, por ejemplo, cuando ustedes estaban haciendo your barber competition,
el de Pro Styles.
El de Pro Styles, ustedes dieron educación.
Sí. En el primero y en el segundo.
En las dos. Y clases brutales porque eran clases de descoloración, de pintar.
Los shapes.
Los shapes de andama hicieron recortes. Sí. Unas cosas brutales porque hay muchos barberos que todavía están usando el clipper y el comb. No usan tijeras.
No usan tijeras.
Entonces se preguntan por qué el estilo del pelo no sale como las fotos. Porque no estás usando las tijeras si no las sabes usar. Pero ¿cuántos barberos, cuánta gente fue a esas clases?
Muy poco. Era muy poco. Si les enseño el video de la diferencia de lo que era la clase y lo que era en sí en la competencia.
Pero ¿cuánta gente fueron a la competencia?
Mucha gente, es verdad.
Todo el mundo estaba puesto para el party, pero no está puesto para educarse. Entonces no pueden exigir. Yo sí, yo no hablo por todo el... No, cuando estoy hablando generalmente, pero yo no me pongo en ese grupo. ¿Por qué? Porque yo me educo.
Y vamos a dejarlo claro, no estamos diciendo que somos los mejores barberos, no estamos diciendo, no es arrogancia de ninguna forma, solamente estamos trayendo lo que le llamamos awareness, para que la gente sepan como que mira, recapaciten, le estamos dando para que recapaciten, en verdad, que aprovechen lo que tenemos en nuestras manos, porque antes no había eso, antes la educación no estaba.
¿Tú sabes por qué yo me molesto, me pongo así? Porque yo trabajaba en un electronic recycling factory. Yo era manager de una electronic recycling factory. I was miserable. I was making almost $20 an hour back then. 401k, everything. I was secure.
Un trabajo seguro, lo que nos enseñaba a nosotros, lo que era un trabajo seguro de bolsillo.
And I left that. There was a couple things that happened. Obviously, I got hurt wrestling and some other things.
How many years did you wrestle?
I wrestled 10 years professionally.
10 years.
And around like year 6, I got hurt really bad. I blew out my whole leg in a match. Like I tore everything inside my leg and I felt it. And that was the catalyst for me to go to barbering school. But while I was doing all that, I was still working full time. I left a secure job to be in a barbershop, to go to school full time, 13 hours a day, to make it. I took a chance on myself to make it. So because I went to school, and I'm not downing on barbers that are homegrown that don't go to school and buy their license, because we know that that's out there. I'm not downing on barbers that don't go to school at all and don't get a license and are still in the shop hustling. That's not what I'm saying, because there's a lot of cold, hard barbers that didn't go to school. I'm pro school. You all know that. But I'm not downing on y'all, those that didn't go to school. I'm simply saying I went to school. I took that bet on myself. So to see people in our industry talk about, oh, we want respect. Oh, we want more money. Oh, we want to charge this. Oh, we want to do that. Why not continue to get educated? You cannot have one thing without the other. You cannot not invest in yourself. You cannot not sacrifice time. If you're willing to sacrifice time to go party at a barber battle, why not sacrifice time to get up at 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning to go to class?
Agree. That's true.
Like it's the priority factor of it, right? So it makes it difficult on people that do take that step, that do sacrifice time to go to classes, that does sacrifice money time, time from away from home, away from the barbershop, away from making money to go get educated, to then come back and be like, look, this is what I did. This is my new certificate. This is my new knowledge. I'm now charging this much. But then because I took that time and John Show from down the street didn't take that time, he can't charge the same as I can. So what happens then? There's an unbalance.
Yeah.
Because if I'm gonna charge 100, because that's the new industry standard. Everybody wants to charge a freaking $100.
That's actually one of the topics that I want to bring on in the future. That another one was what else? It was about charging more.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It was about the education.
So you can't then that person that educates themselves, that barber that educates themselves, that takes the time, that does that sacrifice, has a harder time getting to where he or she wants to get to, because there's so much imbalance.
Mm-hmm.
Stylists don't have that imbalance. Stylists go to classes. Whether you're part of a quote unquote cult salon, so like any salon that just messes with that brand, or whether you're a part of a salon that goes and freely goes to any and all type of classes.
Man, and it's so dope because a lot of people can call it a cult salon or whatever they want to call it, but I've seen, I've seen with my own eyes how a lot of these salons, they do all this education, and then they'd have parties and they do everything included already. Like they do shows out in Vegas. So a whole salon pays for their stylist to go out to Vegas, and let's say, Paul Mitchell, Redken, these big companies like that, where they do like hands-on workshops. Ellos hacen talleres donde la gente hacen todo ahí a frente de ellos, se educan, y la pasan bien porque están viajando, están pasándola bien en otro lado. So, no se le está diciendo a la gente no la pase bien. We're not saying don't have a good time, but there's education is key.
Mm-hmm.
Education is key, because that's the biggest problem. We come into where, oh well, I want to make more money, or you got the ones that just doing the same thing over and over and over, and then the industry doesn't evolve. When the industry evolves, now they're pissed off because people are doing certain things that they're not doing, but they never educated themselves on that.
Listen, and it's like you said, we're not telling people not to go out and have fun. When we talk about me leaving for premiere on Friday instead of Saturday, the main thing I tell you guys is like, look, I want to be able to go out and have fun with you guys at night. But if I go on Saturday after work to then want to take classes on Sunday, but Saturday night we're gonna go out and party and go out to the club or go out to a bar or go out to dinner or whatever, I know I'm not getting up at 7:00 in the morning to go take classes. I'm gonna be too hungover to do so.
You miss out on a lot.
So you miss out. So I make it a priority,
and it's
to
so
leave
hard.
a day earlier.
Like, let's say like Premiere's so hard to just get to all the classes.
Bro, Premiere's a whole world within itself.
Yes.
You might be in a class at the bottom floor, and then your next class is in the third floor, all the way across the center. It's nuts. It's like going through college.
Yeah.
From one building to another.
It's like a big campus.
So do you think I want to do that hungover, sweating the liquor from the night before? Hell no. I want to go in prime and ready to learn and listen and take in what I'm going to take in, because I'm going to charge more. Look, I'm not just a barber. I'm not just a stylist. I do non-surgical hair replacement now. I do man's unit. I do braiding now. I'm starting to do braiding. I don't get to do that. I don't get to charge for those services if I don't go to continuing education classes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about building your ticket. You want to charge more, you want more respect, build your ticket. Learn to build your ticket. Learn to add more services, new services to what you're already doing.
It's like us, right? In our shop, we do what we call the full experience. We do hair color in the shop too. You got the men's unit. We got a lot of different services that help us make that extra money, right? That everybody wants to come and just, like I said, we're going to talk about prices later on in the future, right? But everybody wants to talk about making $100, like you said, but nobody wants to put in that extra work. Or
it's a process.
yes,
Like with anything, when I met you and I told you me and you we have a lot of talks, both in and out the shop. When I met you, I told you I was scared to go into a barber shop and have to pay booth rent and possibly not make it. And the one thing you told me was you gotta trust the process.
yes,
There's a process for everything. So you can't jump into a shop fresh out of barber school, charge $100, and then call yourself a rapper, an influencer, and everything in between. Like pick one, and be good at that one, and then when you mastered that one, then move on to the next.
I agree. It's crazy. A lot of people want to jump steps and not understand the sacrifices that a lot of good barbers have done to get where they're at. Everybody wants to, but and it's okay if you want to charge $100 off the rip. Hey, cool. Kudos to you if you're making it. You know what I mean? Uh we're not we're not trying to go at cut throat nobody on those people that are making $100 or whatever, right? But there's a process. There's a process that you got to respect. There's a process that at one point you're gonna cap out.
Yeah, and that's the thing that I feel like nobody wants to go through the process. Listen, I didn't get into the barbering industry or the styling industry to be a slave to my chair. By no means. We've had this conversation too. I don't want to be working behind the chair.
What's your goal? How long you want to be behind the chair? Since
I,
we're already there talking about it, because that's a big subject too.
I'll be behind the chair as long as my body lets me be behind the chair. But it's the quantity of time that I'm behind the chair. So instead of being behind the chair now, like we are now, sometimes 10, 12 hours a day, especially in the busy seasons, to being in the chair, behind the chair 5 hours a day. Because it's different. I listen to a lot of old heads talk about, oh, I'd rather have a $40 client every week than $100 client once a week that only comes once a month.
Yeah, that
That
doesn't
and
make
that
sense.
and that mentality doesn't work for me because if I build a $100 clientele, then I don't have to worry about that $40 client coming in every week because that $40 client doesn't value my time. He doesn't value my business, doesn't value my profession. And I'm not saying that like with everybody. I'm just saying the majority of them. You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So the goal is to eventually get to charging that price. The goal is to eventually get to not having to be behind the chair 12 or 13 hours a day. But I know that there's a process that goes to that. I know that there's a timeline that goes to that. So I'm already aware and prepare myself for that.
What's your goal? What's your limit? Like, do you have a spreadsheet or anything that you feel that you're gonna put yourself in a situation where you're like, okay, by this time I want to make this amount of money?
Yeah.
Because anybody that knows me, I've always says that, and I've always said numbers are not gonna lie, right? What is your plan to get there?
So financially, you have to be ready to
Because
get ready, right? So
we don't
like,
want to come. One of the biggest thing is we don't want to come and confuse, the people that are watching, especially the new ones, right? Well, yeah, I want to be able to do that, but what are we doing? There's so many barbers talk about it that they want to do so many things on trying to get away from behind the chair, but what are we doing to get to that situation? How are we creating that passive income for you in your like for you in your head? What do you think will give you that opportunity to move away from the chair?
I'm already working on that. So like if you're talking about what gets me to that, I
Hmm.
continue to educate myself. I continue to add different things that I'm going to be able to charge more for instead of just a regular cut. So like when I got the men's unit certification, like one men's unit runs like anywhere between $8 to $1,000.
Hmm. And that's pretty much a day
That's
and a
that
half, 2 days.
that's a good week for a starting barber.
Starting barber, yes.
That's a great week for a starting barber.
You're gonna get
There's
all these. You're gonna get all these kids starting to do. Oh, well, I want to put wigs on.
No, no, no. Listen, if that's what you guys want to do, great. Like, go for it because it's awesome. It honestly putting a unit on a guy that has no confidence because their hair is gone or they're balding, um, and seeing that confidence come back when you put the wig on and you put the unit on and they light up. That's great. That's an awesome feeling for me personally.
No, and knowing on how scared they really are when they're
Right.
gonna take that step.
Because you're cutting off the last little bit of like Homer Simpson hair, those last little three pieces that are wrapped over. But I'm already doing what it takes to get to where I want it. So like I got a 10-year plan, right? Like by the time I'm 45, I want to be able to say, I have at least 2 shops. There's my passive income.
There you go.
I come in and I cut my clients, the clients that I want to continue to cut, and then I keep it moving. And then I enjoy my family, my kids, my wife, my home, etc. Because that I like I said, if we were in a 9 to 5, we're a slave to a 9 to 5, 20 plus years, and then they kick you out. Now you don't even get a Rolex watch. Before you used to get like a Rolex when you retired. Now you don't even get the Rolex. They just kick you out. See you later. Bye.
Bye.
Not even a thank you for your service. So I want to be able to build barbershops, multiple, not just one, multiple, and be able to grow a team unlimitless. And when I say unlimitedly or without limits, I mean without limits. So when you come to me and you're like, dude, I want to charge X amount for a holiday, bro. You got the clientele for it. Go ahead. Charge what you want. I want to be able to say, for Premiere, I'm going to pay for everybody to go to Premiere, but this is what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to pay for every like that. Those are the goals, to be able to have at least 2 shops and to be able to take my team to continuous education and see the team grow and see their growth. Because if they grow, I grow, right? The whole purpose of what we do is I want to be able to see other people grow.
And we've had that model, like at least the core of us, right? That they started together, and those that are watching know who they are, right? We've always talked about that. If you grow, I grow. If he grows, we grow. You know what I mean? When you create that in the environment, we have no reason why to compete against each other. I look at it this way: if my friends are making money the day that I want to tell them let's go out, we should be able to go out because we're all making money.
So and that should be the goal for everybody, right? That should be the goal for every shop that you walk into. Unfortunately, that's not the case. There is enough heads to go around.
Yes.
There's no reason. For me, it's so asinine to see barbershop against barbershop, barber against barber, bro. Like,
Bro, and it's so crazy. We see it all the time on social media.
there's enough. There's enough. Who cares? If I don't feel comfortable in A barbershop and I jump to B barbershop, it doesn't mean that I have ill will towards the people that were in that barbershop. I just didn't feel comfortable in that environment anymore. One of the things that I learned as a professional wrestling from being a professional wrestler for so long is that you're gonna outgrow your training camp. You're gonna outgrow that spot that you're in, right? And it's the same thing in the barbering industry. It's the same thing in the beauty industry. You're gonna outgrow the salon or the barbershop that you're in eventually. There should be no beef for that. There should be no ill will because of that. If I'm making a move upwards to better myself, there should be no fighting. There should be no hate. There should be no, oh, screw that guy. I'm making an upward movement. As long as I'm not making a lateral movement or going backwards, what's the issue? And even if I am making a lateral movement or going backwards, what does it matter to you? You get what I'm saying? I'm doing something that I thought benefited me at that moment in time. So having barbers arguing over barbers moving or barbershops over this, that, and it's asinine. Stop it.
No, and the biggest thing is that you see that they're always fighting, or like, oh, that I'm the best barber, or we got the best barber shop in town. Da da da. Like, so what, man? At the end of the day, people are going to the barber that they like.
Exactly. So hit your button, hit that little heart thing because I'm about to heat it up. Barbers are soft, bro. I thought wrestlers were easily offended. I thought wrestlers got butt hurt easily. Barbers are worse. Y'all are, and I might not be nobody. Like, look, I've been in this business 5 years, dog, and I might not be nobody to be sitting up here and telling you something, but in the 5 years that I've been in here, I could see things, and I'm like, oh, I'm not dealing with that. I'm not getting involved in that. I don't want to hear it. If it's not making money, it's not making sense to me anymore.
That's the old lingo, right? Everybody says if it don't make money, it don't make sense.
don't.
It's like we had a buddy, not my monkey, not my circus.
Yeah. But you guys gotta stop that, bro. Like we go to a barber events and it's clicks. Everybody's like little gangs here and there, and they're all clicked up, bro. Just because you wear the same Jordans and the same suit, don't make you better than anybody else. Just because you're out there, supposedly supporting your barbershop, but that's fine. Al frente están juntos y en la barbería se están tirando. What the hell?
Yeah.
What does that make any? What does that do for our industry? What does that do for us as barbers? Then you want to ask about respect and more money, and that doesn't happen.
No, and now that you say that, what does that do for our industry? One of the biggest things that I see is a lot of people are criticizing some stuff too, right? Not talking about this situation or anything, but so many people are not doing anything that brings value into the industry.
Because they're not doing anything of face value. They just want to get the likes, they want to get the sponsorship or the contract for the company. And it's like we were watching Marvin and Cold Cuts the other day on the Gym Talk.
Mhm.
You don't even like the clippers that you're selling.
Ooh.
You don't. You don't use them. You use them for your video, but you don't use them in the shop. You don't use that product in the shop, but you wanted it so bad because of the supposed money.
Yep.
Come on now.
I think it was who was it? What's his name? Oh, I know who it was. Tyrese Jackson.
Uh-huh.
He was actually talking about that there's so many people supporting stuff that they really wouldn't use. For what?
Hey, look, I get it.
I mean, don't quote me. I might have said it wrong, but I know that's what he was meaning. Like one time, I remember I had a hat on, and I was doing an interview. I was on like on a Facebook Live, and he asked me, "Let me ask you a question. Why do you have that hat on?" And I said, "I don't know. The company gave it to me." And he says, "Yeah, well, what does that company do for you?"
and that's the kicker. Look, I get it. I like I said, my background. I guess my background helps me understand the mindset in this career and this situation, right? Because if as a wrestler, if you're not trying to make it into the WWE, then what are you there for?
What's the purpose? Yes.
Right. So I understand the drive to want to get that contract for a company as an educator, as an ambassador, whatever it may be. But if you're putting your name behind something that you don't believe in and you're selling it to other people, you're being dishonest. So when you sell a product and you sell it to your client, and your client is a longtime loyal client, and you're like, yeah, man, this is the best. And this is the best product because I'm with that company. That client's going to take your word for it. And then you jump ship to B product, and then you're like, this product is the best. This one is awesome. This is just the end all be all product.
Then a couple months later, you see the difference.
So then now I'm starting to wonder, wait a second, you sold me A product, and that was supposed to be the best. But now you're selling B product, and this is the best. So then when you switch to C company, and now you're telling me it's the best, why do I want to believe you anymore?
Oh.
Why do I want to give you my hard-earned money when you've sold me 2 previous products that were supposedly the best? Stay on your word, stay 10 toes, understand and be loyal to what you're selling. And then maybe we could talk about, I can make that much money. Maybe I can make X amount of money.
Yeah, because it becomes you're not credible anymore. Now you're just. I see it a lot. I see it a lot in the industry.
You might as well you might as well be a door salesman. That's just where we're at.
True. And listen, we ain't hating on nobody. That's not the case. We're not talking about it because we're hating on anybody because you know what happens, right? And I'll be they're only saying that because they don't have it. Man, it's not even about that. It's just about.
I can guarantee you right now, there's about 100 people watching this. When you put it out, they're gonna talk ish. Oh, he ain't nobody. He's talking it because he don't got it. He's talking it because he's not up there. I don't want to be right up there right now. I know that there's a process for me to get up there. But trust me, when I get up there, I'm not going to be selling A product, then B product, then C product. I'm going to put my name on something that I know of, that I'm confident in, that I love, that I can trust, that I know that I'm going to put it out to my clients and be like, this is the best product. Period.
Yeah, I got a couple of colleagues, right? Couple guys in the industry that I've spoken to, and they always told me, I don't want to sign for a certain company just because of the opportunity. I want to sign to a company that I really believe in and that I really love, and that I'm going to love actually exposing that company because I like what they have to offer. I like their product, I like their culture, and I liked what their marketing is, whatever they have to offer for that person. Because
I think that as a barber, you do more for the company than the company does for you. So if you're going to put your name on something, you better love it, know it, trust it, everything.
wow, well, I got so many other questions that are going to be coming up further into this, into this channel. Uh, because there's so many questions for companies, there's so many questions for ambassadors, there's so many questions for barbers as it is that there has to be answers,
Absolutely.
right?
It has to be an answer for it.
Because it's just ridiculous what we're seeing in the industry right now. With everybody, the barbers, ambassadors, the companies, everything.
It's a slippery slope. So you got to be careful where you're standing. Um, like I said, there's a process to everything. Make sure that when you go to, like I said, I'm nobody. So if you take my
I
word, take
wouldn't
my
say
word.
you're nobody,
If
right?
you
'Cause
don't, I don't care. I'm just out here putting my opinion out there. But the facts of the matter is, if you're gonna put your name on something, be able to back it up and be able to know what you're doing. Be able to know that the product actually works. So
Mhm.
when you tell your client, "Hey, it's the best," they know that you mean it. It's that simple. It's I mean it's common sense, and I know common sense is not so common no more, but it's basics. You know what I'm saying? Like just own what you're selling, and that's it.
Agree. Well, on that further note, I don't know if you have anything else you want to tell the viewers.
Listen, man. Like if you're
What what
watching,
what would you give? All right, let's put it like this. What would you advise a brand new barber that's coming into the industry?
if you're a brand new barber and you're watching and you're trying to pick up on anything, the best advice that I can give you is to trust the process. Your first couple of months are going to be the hardest while you're building clientele, while you're trying to learn, because it's a learning experience. At least it was for me. Um, those are going to be the hardest. But if you can get past that 2 months hump, you'll be set. There's not a day that goes by in the barbershop where I don't make money. And I'm not talking about like 20, $30. I make money, period. You know what I'm saying? And don't treat this as a hustle. Don't, oh, I'm gonna get in at 11:30, go to lunch at 1:30, not come back until 4, do 2 cuts, and then leave at 6 o'clock. You're not gonna gain anything that way. I work I work more now than I did in my 9 to 5. And I definitely worked more my first 6 months in the business than I did in any other industry I've been in. I was there at 9 in the morning and I didn't leave until 9:30, 10 o'clock sometimes. Like if it was Thursday or Friday, I was there with you guys until the last person left. Now I kind of, back up a little bit because I got a clientele and I can leave at 6:30, 7:30 whenever I'm done. But when I you know me, when it comes time and I got to buckle down and gain a little couple more dollars, I'm there. I'm sitting there until that extra walking comes in. Until that last person at 8:30 at the night comes in as we're about to close the door. Yeah, come in. Don't treat this as a hustle. Don't treat this as a game. Don't don't go selling cars on the side. Don't go selling real estate on the side. Don't go selling drugs on the side, because that's the problem. You come into this barber game thinking it's a hustle. I can come in when I want to, leave when I want to, take what I want to. No, that
They tiptoe with it. They
that is
tiptoe with
that
it.
is that is the literal problem
And
of
and I
why
put
there's no respect in this game.
I put the heartbeat earlier because you were talking about, I work more and I spend more time uh than what I used to do in 9 to 5. And the reality is that a lot of these youngins think that they're gonna come into the barbershop saying, "Well, I'm gonna become a barber so I can have more time." You really gotta match what you really want, right? Either you want more time or you want more money. You gotta choose. And
That's I think that the where it's not linking is the fact that they don't want to go through that process. It's a linear thing, right? There's no there. I mean, there's going to be ups and downs because we have slow seasons, we have busy seasons, but the process is linear. You start, there's a middle, and then there's an end. Period. So you're gonna start, and if you start off the wrong way, the middle and the end are gonna be screwed up for you.
yeah,
So you got to start out the right way. You got to start out being there, the first barber, before the owner comes in and opens the door, and being the last barber as the owner or whoever's managing the shop leaves. So you can build that clientele. In that middle, which is kind of where I feel like I'm at, where you have a decent clientele, but you want to build, you're still there at least your 9 to 6. Like for us, it's 9 to 6.
9 to 6. Yeah,
And then in the end, when you get to that bottom, that end stage where you've grown the clientele, you have either your own shop or multiple shops, or you have a suite, whatever it may be for you. Then you can kind of sit back and be like, this is what I worked for.
mm-hmm.
This is what I've busted my ass for X amount of years. But people don't want to go through that process. They want to go from A to Z without going through the rest of the alphabet. And that's where we get barbers that are unprofessional, that don't show up on time, that don't show up at all, that cancel your appointments last minute, that jack you up and send you on your way and take your money anyways. And then because of that stuff is happening, then we can't ask for respect. Then we can ask for more pay. Then you got to sit there and take clients telling you, oh, for $100, you better. You get what I'm saying?
A lot of these youngins don't understand that, man. You got to spend a lot of time in the shop in order for you to have the opportunity to say, where I want more time. Don't start backwards, I would say, right? Because a lot of them, they just want to come in and, well, I don't have an appointment, so I'm not going to be there. Well, how are you supposed to build an appointment and like build a clientele if you're never there?
It's
Right.
rough.
So I remember when I got into the industry, I said, man, I'm gonna go be a barber. I have more time. I'll probably be able to listen to some more, plug in more into like podcasts or audiobooks, that type of stuff. Man, that's all lie.
Bro,
It's all a lie. We don't have time.
We have been talking about you doing this, what we're doing right now, for 5 years.
Yes.
We are just now at the point where you have able to carve out enough time for us to be able to do this. And it's what, 9:30, 10 o'clock at night?
10 o'clock at night. While everybody else is at home sleeping or
like we worked until 6 o'clock today.
Yeah.
I went out, did something else. You stayed at the shop for a little bit longer, but we came here because this was the time that we were able to carve out.
Mm.
But we couldn't have done this 5 years ago. We tried to do this at the shop 5 years ago.
We couldn't.
And we just didn't have the time. You cannot have one without the other. You cannot have less time behind the chair and more family time, more whatever time you want for yourself without going through the process of busting your ass behind the chair first.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. Look, this career for us, for me, I'm talking personally. I don't, what your own personal opinion is your own personal opinion. But this has allowed me to do so many different things, to meet so many different people. Look, when I came in here, I knew how to flip burgers and tell you whether or not a processing board was good enough to be resold or recycled. Okay? I know how to play the stock market now. I know how to work real estate now. I have clients that sell and buy private airplanes. I have doctors as clients. I have lawyers as clients. You have the same. We have managers of dealerships, owners of dealerships. This business gives you an opportunity that no other business gives you. The opportunity to meet and learn from people that you would not have met and learned from at a regular cubicle job.
Ooh, you hit the spot.
And nobody is taking advantage of it.
Wow, it's crazy because everything that you're talking about right now is what we want to project in the future in this channel. We want to be able to project, the opportunities that we have as barbers that we're not utilizing to our favor. The benefits that we have as barbers that you don't get at a regular job. The opportunities, obviously, that we're able to have uh, because of the network that we get to meet on a daily basis. Um, the creativity that we're able to get out of what we do.
Mm.
There's so many subjects, and you're touching base on a majority of the stuff that we want to talk about. We've been talking about it for a long time, like you said.
Like we can do this like 3 different parts,
Yes.
and it still wouldn't be enough time for us to get it all in.
Yeah.
You can come in with 5 different people, and it still wouldn't be enough. It's just so much that we could talk about and hit subjects on. Plain and simple. If you're watching it, if you're a new barber, take advantage of what this business gives you.
Mm-hmm.
Don't treat it as a hustle. Don't treat it as a quick way to make a buck, because it's not quick. It's not easy. If it was easy, everybody could do it. I'm telling you from personal experience, bro. I was working a secure job and had nothing to show for it. I was driving a beater. I didn't have a house. I didn't have nothing to show for it, and I was miserable. I now own my own home. I have a paid for, done, no note car with a second one about to be finished paying on it. My girls are stable. My wife is stable. Like, it's nuts.
And for a lot of people, they might say, "Hey, well, cool, man, I got that," but it doesn't matter. Everybody's journey is different, you know.
Your vision and your definition of success is yours. For me, can I be better? Yes, absolutely, I can be better. But am I happy where I'm at? I'm successful where I'm at right now. I consider myself successful. Why? Because I don't have to count on anybody else. Even on my worst days, I have money in my pocket.
Do you feel like barbering changed your life?
Absolutely. Barber definitely changed my life. I was at a point where I didn't know where I was going next. I had no purpose. I had no vision of the future. And I think that the necessity drove me to being a barber. Like, a barber doesn't clock in and get a paycheck at the end of the week.
You know why I'm asking you this, because, like I said, in other times we've had conversations to where you had $100,000, and
twice,
and you weren't able to get your own home.
Mm-mm.
Working in corporate America.
But I was. I mean, by the way, those $200,000 checks were from car accidents.
He wanted to make it clear.
Yeah, time out. I didn't rob a bank or anything. They were from accidents. I could have had a couple houses by now, but I was young, dumb, and just wanted to play.
But you didn't know the right people either.
No, I didn't know the right people. I was stuck in a working job. I figured that paying my rent for 2 years straight without having to think about it was winning, and it was a lie. You know what $100,000 in 2009 and 2013 would have been? I would have bought 4 houses back then.
Crazy.
I would have bought 4 houses.
You would have been balling right
now. Insane. If I would have known now what I know, if I would have known then what I know now, we might not even be talking.
I think barbering changes so much in a lot of people. I really think that a lot of people that are in the industry can say that barbering has changed your life.
Absolutely.
It changes your mentality. It changes your person. It gives you, like I said, opportunity on doing and meeting so many different people that it'll take you to another level that at some point in your life you didn't take advantage.
Yep. It definitely changed my life. It definitely made me see where I didn't take advantage of opportunities. $200,000 worth. It definitely made me see things from a different standpoint. Like, now, if somebody was to crash into me, I'm using that money wisely. I'm buying 2 other houses instead of going and buying toys and 4-wheelers and motorcycles. And hell no, I want to invest that money. But barbering gave me that vision. Barbering gave me that need and want to succeed and to be better. If it wasn't for that, I don't know, man. I'd still be.
And there's hey, listen, there's 2 different things. It's barbering and the person that cuts hair is 2 different things. I promise you. because I know a lot of people that cut out of their garage. I know a lot of people that do house calls, but everything changes when you're in the game. All right, so don't get it twisted. Oh well, I've been cutting hair for so long. No, it's different. Once you get into the game to where you really want to succeed in this industry, everything changes. And I've seen it personally. And you, um, Hector, it's changed a lot. I've seen the growth that you've had in the last 5 years. Uh, Obviously, we've always kept each other accountable. We're always trying to motivate each other. Hey, let's do this, do this, do this. Go get this for yourself. We got a core group of us that are always motivating each other because we want to see each other win. Why? Because of the same this motive right here. Stories that will come out because of what you have accomplished in this industry.
Listen, I thank God every day for the team that I was blessed with. You guys know when I walked into the barber shop, I didn't know how to do a fade. I couldn't fade from a 1 to a 2, let alone a skin fade, because I was strictly doing female hair. But thankful for the team that I have, for the people that have backed me in the last 5 years. You guys are the shop owners of Da Vinci's, my core family, my Da Vinci family. I wouldn't be where I'm at without you guys, and that's the honest fact. I mean, I worked for it, I busted my ass for it, but you guys have
Yeah,
seen
it has to go hand in hand.
right. Yeah, it was a team effort. I have the best team that's backed me.
Okay. Man, well, we don't want to take so much more time from you. We know we've been here for a couple hours trying to, we had a couple technical
Technical difficulties.
difficulties, right? But uh, you know, we appreciate coming out tonight to the studio and giving us some time because we know that you're not out at this time of the night
No,
too
I go to
much,
sleep.
right?
I go to sleep with the chickens, like you say.
So we appreciate you coming out. Let the people know where they can find you on the media. Give them out your info.
My only social media. I don't mess with social media too often or that much at all. I actually hate social media. But my only social media is Instagram, Taino_Barber, TAINO_Barber. That's where you can find me. My Booksy, the same thing, Taino_Barber. That's where you can make your appointments. And yeah, that's about it, man. Thanks for having me on here. Super proud of the fact that we finally got to do this. That you're finally doing something that we've talked about for years. And I can't wait to see what happens next.
Well, you already heard it from the man, Taino Barber. Make sure to subscribe, like, hit the button. Let's go. Until next time.